Welcome to another edition of What Would Aaron Say? I'm Aaron. This is what I say. We've got a question today from Mike, who writes, Hey Aaron. Hey Mike. Is it safe to sing through a mild cold? When I say mild, I mean symptoms like not a lot of congestion, infrequent cough, barely a sore throat. I feel pretty normal, just have a few symptoms. Does a sore throat cause the cords to swell? If it's bad to sing through a cold, what's the best way to keep myself from losing my technique and training while resting? Well, first of all, I don't know that you mean that last bit. It's not you're going to lose your technique or your training, but you can hurt yourself. So let's go back to your first question about is it safe to sing through a mild cold? The safety factor is really going to be primarily one of volume and recipe. If you are getting really loud, you're putting pressure on the cords, and if they're already swollen from coughing or just the region being swollen from illness, then you are risking bad things like hemorrhage and such. So the basic rule is to watch out for your volume. If you're blowing a lot of air at the cords, they're flying apart and slamming into each other really, really hard. The harder they slam, the more that fluid that's in the cord is going to try to make a run for it, and when it does, it's going to rip up other tissues inside of that cord, and when those tissues get fixed, it bulks the cord up. It causes scar tissue. The other possibility is that those fluids not having a place to go will cause something to happen like a hemorrhage. So that's one of the reasons why we'll decide to give people steroids if they just have to sing, if they're going to sing on the Oscars that night. And we know they're going to sing, then it's safer to go ahead and take that swelling down with steroids. We never want to take swelling down with NSAIDs like Aleve and Advil and aspirin, because those things promote bleeding. So if you did bleed, they would go uncontrolled. So that's a bad thing. Don't use NSAIDs. Those are non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So the next thing is, does a sore throat cause the cords to swell? Well, frankly, everything makes the cords swell. Talking right now is making my cords swell. But it's just mild, and that swelling sort of fills in the gaps so that the edges are clean, and so that's not a bad thing. If it's excessively swollen, then yeah, you've got to watch out. So how do you sing with swollen cords and not hurt yourself? Well, like I said before, don't sing loud. The other thing you can do is, and this is a little technical, but you'll understand it. Think of it in terms of like the distance apart that you're placing your cords. This isn't entirely accurate because all the cords have to touch, you won't make any sound at all. But there's touching with a lot of pressure and then touching with not so much pressure. So if it's not so much pressure, you get like a breathy sound. There's a longer open phase in the cycle of open and closed. And if you take that and press a little bit closer together, then you get a solid sound. And if you keep going, you'll get like this choky sound. When your cords are swollen, they're literally bigger than you're used to them being. So you have to sing with a more relaxed closure, and you'll still get the solid sound. So you could sing in a way that feels like ah, but it's actually going to sound ah, because as you go to put your chords together, that's already the closed you need instead of going all the way to there. Going all the way there is going to give you that choky sound. So watch your volume and start your practice with a slightly breathier sound, and then gradually work less and less and less breathy until you get a clean sound. Don't get louder to go to high notes. Don't ever get louder to go to high notes. Don't ever get louder to go to high notes. It's not the thing to do. Getting louder to go to high notes is pretty much a certain recipe for doom. So don't be loud. Allow yourself to be a little bit breathy. And this whole thing about singing on a sore throat. If your throat is sore, don't sing. It's sore because your body's trying to tell you, leave this thing alone. If your hand is sore, you tend not to use your hand. So if your throat is sore, don't use your throat. And you can treat the symptoms. You can treat the symptoms, and that'll help. Like I have over here my little humidifier, you can see. I'm in my hotel in LA. So, my hotel, like I own it. And this is helping to keep me from drying out too much. Dryness also causes the cords to swell. So there's a lot of things you can do, like control the humidity levels, don't be loud, and if it feels sore, if it hurts, then it does hurt. Don't use it. If you feel tired, rest. Your body is right. It's always right. Believe it. Your body's never going to lie to you. So that's what I have to say.